There's a whole Reddit thread. My boyfriend is AI. It's women and people on there talking, like sending screenshots of how their AI cares for them and they check up on them. They ask him to make images of them in a house together and what that would look like. And
you know what? As you're saying this,
Ilona,
I'm actually kind of seeing the thrill of it.
No.
Stop! Because
No. Stop.
Welcome to House of Maher, a Wave Original. We have a few house rules.
Girls are magic.
Reading is hot.
And so are you. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube and watch there as well because we're really pretty and you want to see that. I'm the middle sister, Ilona Maher.
I'm the eldest daughter, Olivia Maher.
And I'm the youngest, Adrianna Maher.
Coming up on today's episode of House of Maher, we're talking AI boyfriends, Sabrina Carpenter's God-approved album cover, and Love Island.
We love to start our show by touching a little grass, which is just, sometimes you can take life a little too seriously. So we're here to remind other people and ourselves to touch some grass. Ladies, I want to talk about the MIT study that came out this week. Did you see anything about this?
I read the Time article about the study.
Okay.
Better than
okay.
Doing a TikTok on it, I guess. But no, I have not heard anything about it.
So they came out with a study that says ChatGPT may be eroding critical thinking skills, according to their new study. What does that sound like to you, Ilona?
Goddamn. Eroding critical thinking skills that people just aren't able to think for themselves. And, when they're faced with a problem, they can't figure out their own answer to it,
So the study divided the 54 subjects into 3 groups and asked them to write several SAT essays. One group was able to use OpenAI's ChatGPT. One group used just a Google search engine and the other used nothing at all. And, the researchers studied their brain waves, the brain activity. And what they found was that the ChatGPT users got lazier with each essay.
I can't say I'm surprised.
No, not at all. But why aren't you surprised?
Well, because it's become almost like a crutch. People aren't using their own brains. They're just waiting for the computers to generate it for them. At least if you're just Google search engine, you're finding maybe like research and doing other things. Like there's still some connections that need to be made, but people can just ask ChatGPT to do anything and everything.
You still have to think critically to Google well. That's kind of how I feel.
Google.
What to Google, how to Google something, where to look, what to be understood, what to get from what you're reading and understanding instead of just using something that gives you all the answers. And maybe that's because we went to school in a time where we could use Google for research, but we also did use a bit of books because our teachers made us, I think, sometimes source books. I don't know if that ever happened to you guys, but so there was still that critical thinking element instead of everything just being handed to you, which I think is so spooky that over a study that's happened, they could already see a cognitive decline. Mm-hmm. This isn't lifelong use. This is a a study that was done within a certain parameters, and they already saw damage being done essentially to brains.
What I will say that I liked about the research in the article is that this research hasn't been peer reviewed yet, but they are so scared of what ChatGPT will do to younger people who are in school and the impact it may have that they wanted to release it sooner to try to prevent kindergarten GPT, stuff like that.
I don't even think I know what ChatGPT is. I've never used that in my life.
She's free.
I'm free. I know I have a friend who uses it for everything.
What?
Genuinely
really?
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
She knows who she is if she's listening, but we were at a wedding. She used it to write a note to the couple on a poster board.
See, that's so scary.
I was like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, ChatGPT just wrote my note. You couldn't have written, love you guys. You are the best couple ever. I wish you all the happiness yourself. She went to ChatGPT to use it, and she uses it for everything, really. She's kind of dependent on it, she's such a smart girl as well. I think it's almost maybe she could say it a better way, but we're becoming a time where everything's maybe nitpicked and you get insecure about things. For sure, me. So here's a thing that can, from what I understand, just can write anything for you, right? And just
basically,
you give it a prompt and it actually creates pretty good stuff. Again, I don't know what it is.
And it's artificial intelligence, right? So
Okay.
you can give it prompts and it'll do or find whatever for you, write something, and it can take that, it knows it because it's intelligent, and you can say back, can you make this a little more direct? Can you make this sound a bit more direct and smart? And then they'll take what they did and they'll do it again. It's like communing with to these people, I think it feels like a person, but I guess I also wanted to go into this conversation being kind of careful about how we spoke about it, because as you say, I have friends that it comes out too that like, oh, well, I was chatting with ChatGPT and I was like, you were doing what?
You were chatting with it?
You were doing what? Where to me, I think there's more people out there than we realize. Like when you find out that way more people are doing cocaine than you like
Right.
realize, you know what I mean?
Real talk,
I think it's the same thing with ChatGPT. Like I have friends who like either are just like, yo, I was talking to ChatGPT, or I asked ChatGPT and I was like, hey, I just saw a girl's video actually of her just like walking in a river and it was like, oh, I asked ChatGPT this. Well, I asked the river and she thinks you're a loser that should think for herself. Like,
is ChatGPT an app?
I don't know if it does have it must have an app.
what is it?
But it's also like a website too, I believe. I've never done ChatGPT either.
It must have an app if your friend at a wedding
Or
is chitty
they got
chatting
shortcuts to it and everything.
It's scary. And I saw something else that was like, make sure you start eating healthy and getting your exercise now, because the doctors of the future are using ChatGPT right now and aren't going to know anything.
Oh, yeah, that's very positive.
Is scary. I'm so glad I didn't have ChatGPT during school, because I know myself. I was sometimes a little lazy of a student.
What?
And I think I would.
I'm just kidding.
I got the department award.
Okay.
But I think I would have used it too much. Not that I wouldn't have plagiarized. That is a harsh line. But that's another thing we got to talk about is baby plagiarizing.
I think it's a slippery slope. I see how it becomes a crutch. As you said, you use it once and you had this instant gratification. And so you don't want to mess up. You don't want to seem like you're going to be wrong about something. So you just use it again and again, and it becomes more and more and more, and you're not using your own brain. And that's like, I think a big worry, maybe it's a bit personal, but like our darling Opa passed away from Alzheimer's, and that is of the brain. And there's all kinds of studies on as you get older and how active you keep your brain or not. And obviously that's a disease that has nothing to do with it. But as you get older, there's that saying that's like, use it or lose it. You got to use a muscle or you're going to lose it. And your brain is the same way. You need to be using it. You need to be thinking, you got to be doing the hard things, thinking the hard thoughts, do the Google search, write things yourself. Like it's tough and it sucks, but it makes you a better person. I did a lot of writing in college, and writing sucks, but you get good at it the more you do it, just like anything.
Practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect.
So ChatGPT, is it writing books and stuff?
Yes.
Is it writing songs?
I got so I put up a TikTok. I was like, no one's writing werewolf books anymore.
What?
Like good werewolf books. And someone commented, I asked ChatGPT to write books for me. And then they'll just read what ChatGPT puts out there.
And is it good?
They say it's good, but I'm like, you're not supporting authors. And also at that point, because how these systems work, in which they are taking sources from like everywhere, it's most likely stealing other authors' work to then create this story.
Yeah.
I can see the draw to that, because like you are often like, no, there's no integrity in werewolf book writing anymore. And you're so funny about it, but you mean that because you like certain tropes, you like it to be written to a certain level and whatever. So I imagine somebody could turn to any kind of AI, artificial intelligence, and say, write me a werewolf love story that includes this and these tropes. Like, and they could create the perfect story for you. But like, yeah, you're not supporting humans, the people around us. Like,
you know what's interesting? AI on TikTok. I have to say, some AI is pretty impressive.
Are you talking about the fan drawings or the AI drawings of
like
characters?
Books? They'll like take you into the world. Like genuinely, there's like you can watch almost scenes from Throne of Glass made out of AI, and then there's like recently these like very sexual country songs. Have you heard those?
The like comedy country,
the comedy country songs, but they sound like country because they take, they take every country song that's ever been written, and they have that to their disposal, and they make songs that just sound like it, like
exactly like it. It's crazy. I mean, I've even seen weird AI videos made of you. Like, yeah, I know. It's scary. Our aunt sent it to me actually, and they were like, "What in the AI?" And they take a video picture of you, and they're able to like. I think it used to be called deep fake, right?
Yeah,
where you could
and
like
it's still
move
a deep
someone's
fake.
face. It's a deep fake, and it was you saying like, "I've decided to not be playing rugby," like, but it's like clearly robotic, but it like it's scary. I'll send it to you, but it.
don't.
The more someone is in media, the better these deep fakes can become.
Right.
Like you'll see them like walking down the street where it won't be that obvious and that robotic, where you're actually looking at it and you're like, is that a real video? Like I've had to catch myself on so many different videos to be like, oh, I don't think this is real.
Right.
It's so scary accurate.
People have sent me viral like in the street interviews, you know, but they're now made of AI.
Oh yeah.
And they're scary. And a friend sent it to me, but I don't want to be like, you idiot, that's AI, because it took me a second too. Like it's becoming undetectable. And that is horrific to me. I think we all just need to touch some grass. Like feel the earth beneath your feet. Be like Ilona. Don't even know if ChatGPT is an app. She's really painting with all the colors of the wind, apparently. That's our girl. She's so in touch with nature. But I think another point where, once again, I don't want to be too harsh, but I think we should touch some grass here, is that people have relationships with their AI chatbots. They have full-blown relationships. Like one guy just proposed to his and it said yes.
While being in an actual relationship in real life.
Right. Spooky.
I think I have seen that. I saw a TikTok on it, but like it seems so fake.
Mm-hmm.
But you're telling me there are people who are, what are they doing with these? So how are they there? Because they can ask these things questions and they will answer as if they're a woman or a man.
Not even just questions though, they have full-blown dialogue now. Like back and forth, they basically can train their AI chatbot to be the perfect person for them and respond to them in like a more doting way if that's what they like, or what, like they have these, they use it as companionship. They're not turning to the people around them. They're turning to this thing that they've trained to be exactly what they want. It's so dystopian and it's happening all around us.
I imagine the AIs can do everything. I'm scared.
Do you guys remember that like viral tweet from like 7 years ago that it was like in 2025 women are gonna have sex with robots, and everyone's like next year, you know, like yada yada.
Oh yeah,
it
here
feels
it comes.
like we've actually had it. Like people are having sex with robots, but it's
mentally.
ChatGPT.
Right.
Yeah, they're having text, like phone sex essentially.
There's a whole Reddit thread of, it's called like my boyfriend is AI. It's women and people on there talking, like sending screenshots of how their AI cares for them and they check up on them, and they just have this full blown, you know, they ask him to make images of them in a house together and what that would look like. And
look, hey, you know what? As you're saying this,
Ilona,
I'm actually kind of seeing the thrill of it.
No,
stop,
because
stop.
It sounds like you can create what you want. No. I'm not actually into it, but it's interesting. We talk a lot about how we have trouble finding people we can have conversation with, who we think deeply with. So then I wouldn't do it, but I could see the thrill of women who, well, frick, I can't find this in real life. Here I can create something. And I mean, that's why we escape into books. In what way? You know, we escape into books to have these men who are what we deem as, you know, viable and somebody we would like. So, but those books, the men in books, were written by a human, though. That was of somebody's brain. Like that was somebody came. It was written by a human, but yeah, you know, you read books now where I've been reading a couple books where I'm like, that was definitely written by a woman. Like some of those men, I'm like, okay, look,
he doesn't exist.
That's not. I'm sorry, man, that isn't right.
I see these like relationships as addictive for sure. So I wonder if it's almost like the new porn addiction. Like you keep it very quiet, but it's a crutch. It's something you lean on. You have this relationship with it. You can't function without it. Like, you know, people are in relationships and then have these like AI partners.
And I think that's cheating.
Yes.
I think that's cheating as well.
Emotionally cheating. Put that time into your partner. What are you doing? And it's just, you know, like I do feel sympathy for people who are like, you know, there's nothing out there, so they turn to a chatbot. But it's also like there's so many lonely people out there that I'm like, there should be enough people in the world to be able to make these connections.
Yeah, there's how many billions of people in the world?
8, I think, 8 now.
Like, chat to someone.
People should try shifting again. That feels like a better option than
What
this.
is it? What is
Shifting?
it?
Adrianna, you need to explain shifting. That is so internet. That is so deep cut internet.
Shifting is when people, I still don't know if it's like real or not, but people shift into a different universe in their mind. So they will like lay out a map of how they're going to shift. And then they write out this whole reality of what it's going to be. They're going to like, I'm going to enter Hogwarts and I'm going to be a 6th year and I'm going to be in Ravenclaw and it's da, 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 da. And then they're like, and then I'm engaged to a Weasley twin and they're convinced. And you see videos of them and they're like, I just woke up after spending 7 years in the Hogwarts universe. And so I'm like, I'd rather you do that than this.
That's using your own imagination, though. Good on you.
For real.
You guys, I actually think I can partially shift then. You guys know those stories I have in my head.
Ilona writes books in her head to sleep, and she literally has deep plot lines. Like, literally get a publisher on the phone if you want someone to, like, she has deep stories, like fantasy novels, oh, we get into it.
I got
it was deep.
I haven't heard an update in a while.
No, actually, I was wondering about those 2 characters in that one. Hold on.
My Fae one. My Fae one. That's a good one. Okay, I have a werewolf story. That one's pretty fire. Maybe one day I'll just sit in front of this and tell you all my stories. I have a Fae story. That one's really good.
That's really good.
That one's really good. That one has a lot of like one lover, then we go to another lover, and then she's a badass, and she's actually her father is like the god of darkness. Anyway, and then I have a story about in my head. What else do I do? Oh, Shadowhunter one.
You have an Avatar one, right?
I have an Avatar. Well, it's not really an Avatar one, but it's when it's kind of like a 100 Avatar. She goes to another planet. There's
and by 100, she means the CW's The 100, one of the greatest works of TV ever created.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And I gotta say, Ilona I think we must have had dinner and then like drinks. So we were all sat and Ilona let us in on these plot lines and these characters and these stories. I was genuinely giggling, kicking my feet, being like, and then what happens? Like, it's good. It's good.
I should get a ghostwriter on the phone because I got some. But again, I'm almost ChatGPT because I'm taking ideas from all these books,
right?
You know.
But that's how the human brain works.
Okay, well, let's make a pact that we won't use ChatGPT here.
You're like, but Gemini is on the table. Do we have a message to anyone who maybe is noticing that they are relying on AI a bit too much? Is there any parting words we want to say? Like, what do you want to sing them a song? Like, how do we
break up with your AI boyfriend, girlfriend first? Take that time to heal, but I think that's the first step.
I don't have much. I would just say, get out there and remember you didn't go to school for how many years to let something write something for you. Mm-hmm. You got this, girls and people.
I think I want to say, like, being human and being alive is messy and it's awkward, but that's the point of being alive, is to experience, and you got to let yourself do that. And if you're hiding behind a prompt or a computer in that way, you're not living life to the fullest. So I beg everyone to touch some grass.
All right, well, let's go on to some other kind of divisive topics. We're going to head into our coffee Klatch, which is where we're just going to go over what's percolating in pop culture today. Sabrina Carpenter released an album cover that caused some controversy.
Yes. Did you guys see the first cover? Because
yes.
She's not released a new one, apparently.
An alternate God-approved cover for Man's Best Friend.
Which is funny of her. I think she's laughing at everyone.
First off, what did you think of the first cover?
I didn't mind it. I thought it was hot.
The album's called Man's Best Friend.
Yes.
It's her on her knees and a man is pulling her hair as if she's a dog and her hair is the leash.
Mm-hmm.
Not my favorite.
Okay.
Not my favorite. But it's not like, I'm not like all up in arms about it, but I do wish maybe she went into another direction. So
can you tell us why people are mad, or why you're mad? Like, what about it?
Well, like, Man's Best Friend. Man's Best Friend is a dog, essentially.
A bitch? A female dog? Okay, sorry, keep going. She's a bitch?
Just to, like, have a woman on her knees in front of a man being dragged by her hair it's like degrading to women to put them down, like comparative to a dog, and like the man's the master, like that kind of comparison.
And then
it's just not my favorite.
Doesn't she have like all songs degrading men in a way?
Yeah.
Like
she,
man-child?
She also like kills men in several of her music videos. Right?
Okay, and
so that's what I'm saying. Like it all exists.
I do love her takes and like her artistry, and it's so fun. And so I think that this is another fun thing. And you know, she's always testing the boundaries, which is why I'm not like, I'm never listening to her again. But if I have to choose between this cover, the old cover, and the alternate cover, I'm choosing the alternate cover.
Really? Sorry. I thought it was kind of, I don't know. I did see a comparison drawn online that was like, look at Madonna. Madonna, Dad talks about all the time. Madonna knew where the line was, and she would just put her toe right over it. So Madonna was always spoken about. And like, is that not what Sabrina's doing here? She found the line. She found where people would be a little bit mad. And she put her toe over it. And it's like, you're talking about it. It is, people call it degrading. People call it whatever. I think it's art though. It's her thoughts. It's her emotions. It's what she's putting out into the world. As a rather straight woman, I thought it was cool. I thought it was hot. I was like, okay, go Sabrina, do your thing. But because I do love her music, and I love that
I'll be listening.
I'll be tuned in. But I don't know. I didn't really understand why everyone was up. I can see why people are up in arms for feminism, for women everywhere. But at the same time, it's her art.
And what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the man-child song? I mean, so she calls men stupid, slow, useless, incompetent. Does she do that as well?
Probably. I think it's assumed.
Yeah. So I think that was interesting as well. Like, I saw some people who were like, if a man wrote a song like this about a woman, ba 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 ba. I thought it was catchy. I danced to it many a time. But what do you think about that? Like, is there like a double standard? Is it okay to call men that? I mean, I feel in some ways some of that, but
I have a follow-up question. Are they acting stupid and slow though? Are they being, are they being not, I don't know. Are they not showing up in the best way they can? Like, is that not speaking from experience, if that's how she feels?
And is she talking about all men or just men who've done this to her?
Yes. Excellent question.
Good point. Because that is a thing. Men then say all men.
And she said it in a song before. She said, please, please, please don't embarrass me. Okay, yeah, so did someone embarrass her? And so now she's going to come out here and say, stupid, slow. I thought the song was very catchy. When it first played, people were like, I've been listening. When it came out, people were like, oh no, Sabrina didn't make the song this summer. I think it's awesome. Like, because they were expecting another espresso. I thought it was so catchy. And then I finally watched the music video, which people also had issue with. Like, people also didn't like the music video. I thought the music video was so fun.
Loved all the outfits.
All the outfits, all the scenes, all the whatever. It was moving and grooving. I thought it was really fun. So is it not all satire? Is she not starting a conversation?
Is this not political commentary?
Okay, maybe. I just think she's got some good beats. And I mean, I think what it is, though, is like all these girls can relate to this stuff. Going back to the AI thing.
Yep.
The girls who are like not finding, like, that's what's happening in real life, is these men who are acting this sort of way. So she's writing a song for all us girls who feel this. Very interesting. I mean, you know what also I think is out there that people weren't liking, that I really love, is Lola Young's One Thing.
Everybody wants to know it, but me, I only want one thing.
You love that song. Why don't I like that song?
I love it. It's a song about Lola Young is saying, like, tonight all I want from you is one thing, sexual intercourse. But, she doesn't want your number, don't care if you have another, whatever it is, but that's what she wants. And it's like a woman expressing herself, her sexuality, like, in a very blatant way. Like, I think women sometimes are told, you need to have a relationship, settle down, you can't have more than so many lovers, what about your body count? And I like that she was just like, no, that's what I want right now. I want to do this, I want to do that, and then be done with it. And I think it's such maybe a take that we're not used to from women. And some people were not happy about it. I remember seeing, I don't know, they didn't like it. Whereas almost like Sabrina's doing the same thing, but it was kind of the conversation of Sabrina being a petite blonde, very classically beautiful, Lola Young being a thicker, extremely gorgeous, but the way that she presents herself is very like she wears different clothes, she has a different hairstyle. Alternative. There you go. That's the word. So I love that song. I love that she's taking control of that, her narrative sexuality. Thoughts?
I don't see the problem with it. All men sing about is one night stands and bumping and grinding and, you know, like, so go get your rocks off, girl. Go ahead and sing about that.
And if you don't like listening to like vulgar music or explicit music, don't listen to it.
Hey, turn it off.
Hey, it's just not for you.
Right.
No,
There's other songs out there. There's so many other things.
I think that is empowering. That's a woman saying what she wants and going and getting it.
And again, it's art. It's a form of art.
But clearly, Ilona resonates with Ilona. She loves that song.
No, I think it's a jamming beat.
It's a jamming beat.
It's a solid beat, and I think it's just like, I don't know. I love the confidence in it. I love that she's like, it's not about love. It's not about this. It's about just what she wants for one night and going to get it. I think it's refreshing.
It's still human connection.
Yeah, I thought it was really refreshing.
It's no AI boyfriend. Is that the one where she's like, break the bed and then the sofa? I want to pull you closer.
Everybody wants to know you, but I only want one thing.
Hey.
She doesn't even want your. Anyway, I could sing the whole song, but I think it's really great, and I like that it's also somebody who, like we said, alternative singing it. Like she is gorgeous in her own way, and that's what she wants.
Is she the artist that somebody made a TikTok where her music style is quite close to Remy Wolf? There's a couple, kind of the same kind of vibe where someone was like, Remy, quickly, she's rifling around in your purse. Like, hurry. She's like that same sound, right?
I like that sound though, because I'm a big Remy Wolf fan, and I like.
Oh, she's the same producer as Remy.
Oh,
so that's a huge thing when you have producers. Sometimes you're gonna have similar sounds.
Okay.
And it might just be the genre.
Yeah,
I guess. But I need Remy to also get some more attention.
Right.
Love that girl.
She's great.
Remy. Stay clocked in, girl.
You know who also needs attention? Miss Zara Larson. Love that girl down. She's just released some bangers.
Zara Larson?
Pretty ugly and
just released.
I'm saying for this upcoming album.
Bangers. Okay.
As someone who lived in Sweden during the lush life,
as someone who went to school in 2014, 2015, an icon.
Love that girl.
You do win. You were in Sweden.
What are our thoughts on Haim are coming out with a new album? And I just saw, I think they have like 3 hotties in it. Like that's what they get to they chose a couple hotties to be in their video. It's all over music video with Will Poulter, who Olivia was, I remember is
Will Poulter, I am in your walls.
He's the guy who was in the
Maze Runners.
No, not to me. He's not Maze Runner. He's what is he?
No. When they're going to Mexico. When they're going to Mexico. You guys are getting paid for this?
You're getting 30 grand? I'm getting 1,000.
You guys are getting paid?
Yeah, you guys get paid for this guy. But then he really, really matured and really got handsome there.
He buffed up for Marvel as well. Yeah. He got in like stupid shape. He probably was already in shape, but everyone always calls it the Marvel glow up or whatever. It's a good looking dude.
I never think about this, but if you could have say we did like a music video or something, if you could choose a guy, because I remember one time like Mindy Kaling saying like when she was doing her show, people were like, that character would never get that guy. She was like, I'm directing this, I'm writing this, I'm going to choose whoever the frick I want to make out with.
Yeah.
Who would you choose as your music video boyfriend of choice? You know it, just say it. You both know it, the way you look, the way you're looking.
Adrianna?
We just talked about this last episode, but if I could get the guy from Sweet Home Alabama.
That older guy right now?
Well, put me in Sweet Home Alabama.
that time? Okay. He's looking a little different now, but I hear you.
Ilona?
I enjoy Theo James, back from Divergent.
Oh, that's a good
I'd
one.
put him in my music video.
Mine would be, it's basic, but Henry Cavill. Cavill, but
yeah.
specifically from The Witcher. No, I'm just kidding. Any version of him.
Right. I also enjoy Tom Hardy, maybe in there. I don't know.
Ooh. I'm also
You're pulling good ones.
I'm an Aaron Taylor Johnson girly. I just watched that movie that he was in, like Craven. Not a great movie.
Oh, really?
But he looks good as hell.
All right.
That's literally why I watched it.
I don't know his name. Outer Banks. Livy. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about.
Which one? JJ?
JJ, and then the other one.
What's his name? The blonde evil brother.
I don't know. I be liking TikTok edits.
No, guys, what is his name?
Chase Stokes?
No, not Chase Stokes. That's the main guy. That's John B.
Rafe? No, Rafe is. I don't.
Rafe is the brother. Yeah, but what's that actor's name? What's that actor's name?
Heavy on him.
She sent me many a TikTok edit of him.
Drew Starkey.
And I will say the editors go crazy on clips of him, for real.
Listen to me, this would go so much better for you if you would just...
Who are you trying to protect here, huh?
Speaking of hotties, I'm not keeping up, but you guys are watching Love Island.
I'm watching UK.
I'm watching USA for the first time in my life. I've been a UK girly for like 5 years. And now I'm locked in. Think about it. We started watching before the pandemic, Dre.
We started watching, I think, 2018.
Yeah.
So more than 5 years.
Whoa. So it's my first year switching to USA because last summer it had unbelievable reception. Like they finally kind of figured out what they were doing over here in the US. And last season was a hit. And then we were so busy when USA started that I wasn't up on it. But then I just keep hearing amazing things. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to lock in on it because I want to be able to watch it nightly, which we can't do with UK because they don't bring it to the streaming platforms here until a couple of days later. So Adriana's being a purist, though. She's sticking with UK.
Good this season.
Is it?
It's good. I am giggling and kicking my feet. Like, so much fighting. It is just fun. Because, like, last season, I don't even think I finished last season. But, like, I'm loving it. Like...
I think that even UK people are watching American Love Island though too.
There's a British guy on it.
There's not that. No, it's just like Molly May was watching American Love Island.
Get out.
Yeah, I saw a video of her doing that. I only have watched a couple episodes with Olivia. I've just kind of come in the middle of the season, but I have watched the TikTok clips, like Huda's "I'm a Mommy" moment. Look. I will say that was a weird way to say that.
You need to explain that to the masses, to people listening that don't watch Love Island.
Okay.
Actually, should we explain the concept of Love Island? Like, people know, right?
People should know.
People should know.
Good. I think what we want to say is it still surprises people. It is 6 nights a week. It is 5 nights a week. It's every single night of the week. You're in that villa with these people. You are essentially playing God. You know, you vote on things as it's happening. Just need to put that out there.
There's like 6 guys, 6 girls. Everyone is coupling up with one another. And then there are recoupling ceremonies where you can then couple up with someone who suits you better. Mm-hmm. But then there's bombshells that come in, hot people who are going to mix things up. So then it gets like 7 girls, like 6 boys. And so someone's going to get dumped from the island because they're not in a couple. And then the public starts voting for their favorite couples. And then couples get dumped.
It's a study in human relationships and how the human brain works, because it's a game and you want to be coupled up to get like the public's favor to make it to the end, but also then you do start developing feelings for people and their sexual chemistry, and it's unbelievable. And I know people scoff at dating shows, and maybe I used to be one of those people. I never really watched any of the Bachelor Nation or anything like Too Hot to Handle, nothing like that. But Love Island back in 2018, especially UK, because it was fun listening to the accents and hearing about like just kind of the cultural differences and the way the men were friends with each other and the way that, it's a beautiful summertime party every summer. So, Ilona, can you please explain the "I'm a mommy" moment from Love Island this year?
If y'all haven't seen this, it's that one of the contestants has a daughter, and she's telling one of her male friends in there that she has a daughter for the first time, and she goes, "I have a secret to tell you. I'm a mommy."
I'm a mommy.
Mommy?
I'm a mom.
Mamacita.
No, I'm a mommy.
A mom of what? A dog?
I have a daughter.
Like in real life?
Yeah.
Like a daughter, like a real baby?
Yeah, like a human child.
And he's like, mommy, mamacita. And she's like, no, I'm a mom. I'm a mommy. Like a mom of what? A dog? Okay. She's trying to tell him she has a daughter. She should have just said, I have a daughter, or I'm a mom. The way she said mommy, I was confused as well. But I think he was also a little slow to it. But so it was a whole thing for her about like, you know, going into Love Island. There was a lot of discussion on it, I guess, about her going in with having a child. And my thought is like, honestly, she's kind of probably treating this like a job. Like she's going there to kind of make a better life for herself and her daughter by becoming an influencer. I mean, we saw what last season did. She's kind of doing this for the long game, I imagine.
And to find love, Ilona, it's a show about finding love.
Right,
please.
right.
With the prize reward at the end.
Yes. I'm not far enough in, but is she also that other super viral moment right now? The My Dream Date.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that her? So she is just made for TV.
What was the date?
It was just like sitting down like on the beach.
My dream date. Cute. And he knows that.
I love quoting that. Oh, my dream date.
Ilona and I went and ate pizza the other night, and I posted about it, and Adrianna goes, my dream date, cute.
And you know that.
And you know that. So it's fun, but that's an insane way to go about telling somebody that you're a mother. But I think absolutely she should be on the show, though. People thinking that, oh, that's weird that she's a mom. I'm like, hey, people be having kids.
I think it is something that you need to be so honest and like quick with when you go on Love Island, to be like, I am a mother, because you can make connections in there so fast. And that is something that people need to be like incredibly aware of if they're entering in a relationship with you, because are they ready to have a responsibility of like this potentially going further and then having to be a parental role?
She did tell the guy though that she's with that she's got a daughter. When did she say that?
I'm not talking about her.
Who are you talking about?
Me in general, because there's some Love Islanders who in the past haven't until like several days in, and I'm like,
really?
You've already been through a recoupling and now you're just saying this?
Other Islanders have had kids?
Yeah. Well, in other countries and stuff.
Oh, like Australia and stuff like that, which I hear is also an amazing franchise. She did tell the boy that she was coupled up with at that point, but a couple days in, she just wanted to make sure that it was like for real and that he wasn't love bombing her or whatnot, which I do see. It's a strong open to be like, I am a mom, but then it's like, are you starting things under false pretenses? You know, or is, you know, what do you think?
I think she's still a person looking for love. Like, is it fully defined by being a mother? I think, I mean, I don't know. I don't got no kids, but I do think like she did disclose it, but I think, I don't know. It's only right for you to find that time to tell him and also gauge the person.
Absolutely.
One thing I did, there is a new girl who just came on. And again, I'm not really watching it, but I see it all on TikTok. I feel like I'm watching it. She's this 21-year-old. She came in with a lot of like work done, a lot of filler over time. And people are absolutely like being the biggest bullies on TikTok of her, like running just everything. They are really being so vile. And I mean, she's going in there not knowing the whole whole world is like TikTok is blowing up, being negative towards her. Oh my gosh. I feel for her when she comes out.
Yeah, that's horrific. Because it's like, you know, no matter what somebody looks like no matter what they've had done, they did it for a reason. And that reason was maybe they didn't like the way they look, which is a very sad place to be in, or they just wanted to, which is totally fine as well. But I think the scariest part is that it's all happening without her knowing the commentary that is being made about the way a woman looks, right? Like the men are fine, but people don't talk about their looks as much. You know what I mean? Like,
those guys are hotties. Some of them are hotties. I will say from what I have seen, she is 21. She has had a lot of work done. Which
so that's why people
also,
are talking, you think, a lot? Is that she's so young?
She's so young and she's so different. And I think it is like, it just sucks because you can't imagine what pressure she probably felt in her real world to feel like she needed to change so much.
Yeah.
Like that, I think is what's so tough about that, is that she felt, even though she's a gorgeous girl beforehand, what pressure she was feeling to have to change, you know?
Or if she wasn't and she just wanted to, but it's like, because knowing that like she did make those decisions for herself, but people are going to comment on it anyway.
Love Island has been putting out warnings, or just not warnings, but just reminders to be careful of what you're posting online. Islanders are real people, and they're going to get out of the villa and see it. And
Right.
Great time to remind people again, don't bully people.
Yeah.
Right.
Be careful what you say. Like, they're going to come out and see this. And Love Island has a history of people committing suicide, and it is because so much of the online bullying.
It's like, just don't comment on the way people look. How about that?
Period.
Unless you're telling them they look good. But even then, like, you know, and you see the thing about, like, even like children when you're raising like daughters, like, don't tell them, oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're so, it's like, tell them they're smart. Tell them they're so brave. Tell them they're whatever. Like,
I hear you, but I think that's also hard.
What?
To just be like saying all that because beauty is something we notice first.
True.
We notice how somebody looks first. When before somebody's walking to you, what are you noticing? Their face, everything like that. So I think that is something, but in our deep minds, we are looking at them, seeing them, you know, being perceived online. Recently, I just posted a video about a tweet that somebody, it was a tweet of people online, 20 million people were debating whether or not I was overweight, my body. Like, that's what people like see, you know, they're going to constantly be talking about bodies, how you look. It's like figuring out how to find your own self-worth and your own like beauty within, because it's never going to change. Beauty has always been something that's been discussed for thousands of years. And maybe I'm going wrong on this, but like, I hate that it's like, oh, we can't be talking about that because it is, we connect over beauty. We are attracted to beauty. It's something that's so at the forefront. So I don't know. I just think there's a balance because it feels unrealistic to not comment. And Adrianna maybe have more to say. I don't know.
I think you kind of nailed it.
Perhaps.
I think of like myself growing up, and like I think we all received a variety of like physical compliments, but then also like deeper talking about our minds, stuff like that. And I honestly think that it takes kind of both to become like, you know, confident in yourself, you know, because although you are so much more than like how you appear, we are still human, and our society puts so much pressure on that like it is good to have confidence in that and to be told you are so beautiful.
Yeah.
As well as being like, you are so smart. And I think our parents did a great job, and the people that surround us, of saying both, you know, like to both of you, even to this day, I'll be like, you look good as fuck in that. And then later, Olivia, you'll have me read something and I'm like, oh, you had a great tone. Like you wrote this really well, you know, like, or like Ilona, like you had such a great statement in this video that you made. Like, so it's both, it's hand in hand.
Yeah. I like to be told I'm pretty.
Please.
Personally, really enjoy it. Personally, I really love when people can tell me I'm hot. So I think that it's a balance, right? Because I grew up as somebody who was never told that, who I never felt that way. You know, I never felt too beautiful or never felt too attractive. So I do like that. It's like, you know, love language. I think I do enjoy words of affirmation at times, but that I know now that's not all I have about me. I'm smart. I'm funny, but like I sometimes need a little bit of that affirmation, you know, for this girl up here, for the bigger middle schooler up here. Bullying is never okay online. You don't know what they're going through, how they're going to feel, and what it feels like. Cause I have been on the other side of it, and it's never good and never feels good to see that stuff. So I'm thinking about all those Love Islanders who are coming out of the villa. And also, when you're watching Love Island, remember it's kind of a distorted view as well of things.
Absolutely. The editors are piecing things together. You're not seeing the full story. So be nice to all the Islanders and everyone else online. If I see one more hate comment about Ilona,
that'll keep happening, but thank you.
It's going down.
And just remember, you're strong, you're brave, and I think you're pretty.
Should we move on to some tea time? Ladies, you're just in Cannes, France? Is it Cannes?
Cannes. Apparently it's Cannes.
Cannes?
Oh, okay.
Cannes.
We asked a French guy who wasn't there for Cannes, but he's French, and we asked him. He was there on a honeymoon with his American wife, and he said it's Cannes. It's Cannes. So, you know, without the S, but not Cannes. It's Cannes.
Right.
Very beautiful. Beautiful place. We got to go back.
You were there for Cannes Lions Fest, right?
Yes. So it is massive festival. There's literally like YouTube as a house, Meta as a house, Google, blah, blah, blah. And it's like this Coachella of like advertising and all sorts of stuff. Americans just descend on it.
Yeah.
Famous people are everywhere. I was there to go on some panels. Olivia came on a panel with me as well, and with for Wave, our entertainment company that does this podcast. Thanks, Wave. So it was interesting to kind of be in the likes of that and to the hustle and bustle. We were invited to so many things, so much was happening, and it was cool, but it was definitely a lot. So we took some time for ourselves, and we went to a beach club.
We sat on the beach for a little bit amid various brandings and panels. And I mean, I don't know because I'm not fully in that world, but a lot of the panels all sounded the same to me, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
It was talking about, gun to my head, I could not tell you what a KPI is. And I heard that term all
Key
week
performance
long.
indicator?
Yeah. Up here. Okay.
Is that it?
Oh, Mom, I'm coming home for dinner. I'm making it. Key performance indicator, or like, storytelling and marketing and all this stuff. So it was cool. I think Ilona brought a lot of fun energy. She shook it up a little bit where she could. She was fun, She was her relatable, authentic self. They love that term, authentic.
I even turn it up a little bit on those panels because I feel for those motherfuckers in the crowd.
They're in France, so like they're okay, but like they're listening to.
But they're barely there. They're sitting, they're watching these people speak for like hours and hours and hours a day. And these guys are so like well rehearsed, saying the most politically things. And I'm like, God, I don't know how they do it.
It's just like a corporate networking orgy. Like you are there to shake hands, listen, like level up. It was cool because and a lot of people kept thinking when we said we were going to Cannes that we're going for the film festival, which happens a couple of weeks before. This is different, people. This is the marketing and advertising mecca of the world. After one of Ilona's panels, I ran into a girl who was working like the media booth, and she was like, there's a guy here who says he knows you from New York. I was like, huh? He was like, yeah, he said that he does your podcast. And it was the guy that I looked in the eyes of and said, I'm going to grab your bush when I say this at last week's recording.
And there's nothing wrong with the bush.
There's nothing.
Let's
get into it. I'm gonna grab your bushes when I say this.
He was there. We hugged. We had this beautiful reunion. We laughed about bushes together once again. But he was in Cannes, so you run into all kinds of people. Truly,
Kismet. Interesting.
Yeah, meant to be. Who was it cool to connect with anyone in particular, Ilona?
I got to see Meg Rapinoe, Sue Bird. That was really cool. We partied in a club with them. Candace Parker was there. There's literally so many people all around. Gab Union, who's really cool. She's part of my company Range, who I'm signed with. So got to meet her. I got to meet John Chu. He was at a table with me. I was at a dinner and I was like, hey, I'm a rugby player. He's like, oh yeah, I know who you are. I was like, thank you so much. And so we talked a little bit about his editing process and Wicked. There's literally like, you just kind of go to meet people and see and be seen. A lot is happening. But it was cool. We did it one night clubbing. There were sparklers everywhere. I was spooked. I was looking for every exit. I even at one point, didn't I lean down to you and Rihanna? And I was like, if anything happens, this is the exit we're going to. We're hopping this barrier. So I had to plan a whole exit out. But it was cool. We were definitely packed in there. But we definitely have to go back to the south of France for another time when it's like not a whole festival. And I think I want to do that, like just go to chill, have my spritzes on the beach, not have to worry about panels and stuff.
Right. Are you going to be able to just chill? Are you going to need to like...
No.
Right.
I'll do a little run here and there. Maybe we'll see.
She's taking meetings.
Yeah.
She's busy.
Unfortunately.
Businesswoman.
Yeah.
But I mean, the beach club culture down there is a beautiful thing. People tan topless. There are nude beaches, of course, but even on normal beaches, women just don't have their tops on. Love that. No tan lines. So it's a very beautiful place and culture, and the water is gorgeous and crystal clear. And I think that was my first time swimming in the sea there.
Yeah.
Right? Because we didn't swim when we were in Italy. Because we were in there in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
So that was very special.
Hey, Adrianna, are you okay? Like, is the heat wave getting you, or what's up, dog?
Oh my gosh, true. You're in New York.
I've lost a lot of water weight. I'm actually very petite these days. It has been crazy. It was 100 degrees yesterday. Today, the heat wave broke. I walked outside and it was 80 degrees. And I was like, oh, it's a little chilly out. Like, it felt cold, actually. I just like the summer. And I will say I was smart about when I was going outside. I did decide to go to the park yesterday for an hour. I regretted it on that walk back. I was like, it is tough out here. It is something special. But there have been some fun drinks and some AC. So I've been having a good time.
How's New York as a city? How's the electric grid with all those ACs cranking?
I'll tell you what, I am worried for my electric bill. I have 2 other roommates, and it is, you can't sleep without an AC right now. It is so hot. I saw a TikTok of a guy who doesn't have an AC and woke up at 2 a.m. and yacked because of how hot he was. But I am like, Con Ed is being like, set your ACs at 78 degrees, like only run it for these many hours. 78 degrees, I need you to check yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There's other things in the city that we can do to lower electric usage. I don't know if my 74 is going to do that.
Right.
And I'm doing 74 to be nice to them.
Now, with all this heat, Adrianna, are you spending some time in the Book Nook?
In the Book Nook?
Are you reading any books?
I just read The Things We Water by Mariana Zapata, which is my girl, as we know. Love her.
So is it a sex book?
No! It's a werewolf book.
Okay.
And there's only one scene at the end.
That sounds like some kind of like award-winning nonfiction novel.
Yeah,
like
right.
It sounds like Braiding Sweetgrass. No. It is a werewolf book. And it's also, have you guys ever seen Legacies, the CW TV show spinoff from Vampire Diaries?
I've seen it on Netflix, but I've never watched it.
Okay. Essentially, every magical creature exists in that universe, which I always find like, we can pick a few. Like, why are the garden gnomes coming out of the woods right now? Why, like, we don't need leprechaun. Like, it's too many magical creatures that exist in this world, which I didn't love. But I still love Mariana, so I read it. And it was, like, fun to see her take on a werewolf.
So, why is it called The Things We Water? Is that deep or something?
I don't know. Maybe I missed that. But I finished that book and I was like, maybe it's like the relationships that we water then grow into things.
It wasn't like a line in the book or anything? There truly was no mention of it?
Could have been. I read kind of fast, so sometimes I do glaze over things.
Okay, because the title feels like it could also be a plant book.
It does. I felt people are like, "What are you reading right now?" I'm like, "The Things We Water."
Yeah,
you sounded intellectual.
Saying that with my chest. The Things We Water. That's what I'm reading. Wow. Don't ask me. It's werewolf. I don't know.
Okay, so do you recommend it?
I had a good time, but I think if you're going to read Mariana Zapata, you can start with another book.
Okay. How many stars out of 5?
Don't hate. I need her not to listen to this.
Because you love her.
I love her.
She knows you love her. You speak freely.
Like 2.5. 2.
Okay. That's fair, dog. Not everyone can be a winner.
It's okay.
That's okay.
Sorry. Ilona, what have you been reading?
Okay, guys. I got a pretty solid one. Olivia actually recommended this one to me. It's Bride by Ali Hazelwood. And I, ate this shit up in, I think, 2 days. All right. The premise here. Look, Adrianna and I read very similar things. This is also a werewolf book, in a way. So, we got...
And vampire.
Girl, I'm getting there. Okay. Hold on. We got an arranged marriage, all right? One thing about me, I do love arranged marriage books where they fall in love. For arranged marriage in life, I'm not really for it unless, that's what you would want. Okay, we got vampire girl, werewolf man. But the vampires and werewolves have been at war for so long. So this marriage is to bring them together. She's walking down the aisle. She gets there. I'm afraid to not give all of it away, so I won't say much. But it was good. Okay, I enjoyed it.
She was near the end of it, and she goes, "Is there a second one? We got a second one? Is there a second one?" I was like, "No, dog. I'm sorry."
I've already, I think, pre-ordered the next one that is going to come out.
There's a second one that's coming?
It's the 2 other characters.
The best friend?
The best friend, yes.
Yes. And who?
And if you read the end of the book, you know.
I read it
I read this a while ago.
Okay.
I read it right when it came out. I heard a traditionally published werewolf book. I'm there.
It was great. There was one thing that I guess some people get stuck on, an anatomy difference. in The Male Werewolf. Adrianna, you read this book.
Oh, I hate that shit. I hate that shit.
I didn't mind it. I loved it.
Not my werewolf books.
No, I loved it. Anyway, I'd highly suggest it. I might give it a 5 out of 5.
Whoa.
I did really enjoy it.
4.7, just for some leeway. No, but I think I might read it again. Tomorrow.
Victory lap.
Yeah, it was really good. Check it out, everybody. Ali Hazelwood. And I think I've read a couple of Ali Hazelwood books. Which one does she do? Does she do the smart people books?
Love Hypothesis.
Yes, I've read
Kylo
those.
Ren fanfic.
Not in Love.
It's a Kylo Ren fanfic. That's how it started.
Oh, well, good on her. Olivia, send us home. What have you read?
I would love to be able to round out this conversation and say I'm reading like a deeply intellectual book. I am reading nonfiction. I am reading What I Was Doing While You Were Breeding by Christian Newman. It is, I read this straight out of university and I loved it. I recommended it to all my friends. Ilona read it. Adrianna, you read it as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to pick it up a couple of years later now, being 30, being in a totally different part of my life. And basically in this book, she is a TV writer. She wrote for, That 70s Show, How I Met Your Mother. And basically her life was several months of being in a writer's room and writing TV and then several months off. And in those off times, she traveled the world. She had all kinds of experiences. She went all over the place, many of which revolved around romantic or sexual relationships and what she learned about herself and the travels she was able to do and the kind of life that she has led and is leading that is so different from her peers and the people that, back in the States and followed more traditional trajectories. And so her insights on that, I think, especially as someone who many of my friends are married, are having kids, are doing that. And I'm living very much to a different plot from them, which I love. I love what I'm doing. It's kind of refreshing to read from a woman's point of view, this kind of take on travel and sex and life and love that isn't in the eat, pray, love kind of way. That I remember I tried reading that book a long time ago and I did not like that. I haven't watched the movie, but I did try the book and it wasn't for me. But this, on the other hand, is so funny. Oh my gosh, she is funny in every sentence. Just her whole vibe and how she writes is hilarious. Her opening sentence is, "I am not a slut in the United States of America." And I'll leave you with that because it's one hell of a book.
I liked it as well. I thought it was really fun. I thought all the little anecdotes and stories were really, it's one of those nonfiction books that you also just, it's fun to read and you're going to learn a little bit, but it's also just like a good kind of giggling, kick your feet book. What are you rating it out of 5?
I'm rating it a 5 out of 5.
Wow.
5 stars. I've recently bought a bunch of copies to give to my friends because I just think the people in my life should also be reading it if they haven't yet. So yeah,
it's a good gift.
Thank you.
We had some comments ask, have any of you read the Bonds That Tie series, Adrianna?
I gotta look up that cover.
Bonds That Tie.
The Bonds That Tie. I've never.
I'll put it on my list. Whoever says that.
They'll report back. They'll have a book report.
If any of you have a book you want us to discuss on the show, comment on YouTube or send us a DM at House of Maher for a chance to be featured. I mean, I think you kind of know now what we like to read. You're probably figuring that out. So put it in the comments. I'll listen. We've probably read a lot of them anyway, but we're down to try new things. So let us know.
Well, thanks so much for coming over to the House of Maher, a Wave original.
Be sure to watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Plus, follow the show on social media at House of Maher for clips and behind-the-scenes content. Also, dump your AI boyfriend.
Dump him.
They gotta go, baby. You're worth more.
Now.
I love you, but get out.